Find music that you enjoy that makes you feel good, not the depressed, slide down the wall, crying music. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in as always. I always appreciate you watching, tuning in. But today I want to go ahead and get right into it. The time is changing this weekend, so this video is really important for my people who suffer from seasonal depression, also known as seasonal affective disorder. For the video, I'll probably say seasonal depression or SAD, which is that acronym. So just know when I'm saying SAD, I mean seasonal affective disorder. So let's get into it. So seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, or better known as seasonal depression, for individuals whenever it starts getting darker sooner, it gets closer to the holidays, the people that really suffer with depression. It's very different from other depression because it's mainly triggered by the holidays and the time change. And the reason why that's important is because there's specific things that you need to be doing to prepare for this now, so that way you can kind of combat it for the upcoming months. I really wanted to do this video because, in case you don't know, I do have a psychology degree that I don't really use, but I am a very big mental health advocate. I strive. I tell anybody, go talk to somebody, go see somebody. Do what you need to do to protect your mental health, because your mental health is your wealth. You can't pour into other people if you don't have nothing to give, and you're going to drain yourself. And that's why, especially at this time of year, suicide rates are higher. So please share this video to anybody that suffers from seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression. Let's kind of help each other out. First things first, you need to figure out what triggers your seasonal depression or your SAD or your seasonal affective disorder. The reason why you need to figure out your triggers is because there's certain things that need to be done to combat whatever your trigger is. So the top 4 reasons that people suffer from SAD are, it just gets darker sooner. Like, people need sunlight. I need sunlight. Like, if you ever pay attention to how your mood is kind of shift, except for some people that love gloomy days. But most of us, we need sunlight. Sunlight changes your whole mood. When it's nice outside and it's sunny outside, like, you're ready to thrive. You're ready to take on the day. But when the time changes, it gets darker sooner, like 4 or 5 o'clock. And that is very limited sunlight. And that causes a lot of people to go into that depression. And because sunlight brings your vitamin D. So that's going to be the first thing we talk about, is the lack of sunlight due to the time change. The second thing is missing family members. And this could be a family member that has passed on, or a family member that is just too far away. If you're on a deployment or you live across the country and you can't really travel to get to them. So missing family members is number 2. Number 3 is honestly reliving and revisiting bad childhood memories about the holidays and things around this time, something traumatic that has happened around this time that can trigger it. And the last thing is really important also, is not being able to provide for your kids for Christmas. So those are the top 4 things, and we're going to go through each one to figure out how we can, stop that right in its tracks, because we need to make sure we good on the inside. Holidays should be a happy time, and of course it's not for everybody. But if we can start and work on these things now, by the time the holidays come, you good, baby. You out here, you thriving. So let's get into it. So like I said, vitamin D, the lack of vitamin D is a very big thing that comes with seasonal depression, because vitamin D is what helps the dopamine and the serotonin in your body do its thing. So you have your mood up and high. And because you are lacking in vitamin D, which it naturally occurs in sunlight, number 1, I don't like to push pills and medication, but vitamin D supplements, baby, get you some immediately. Like, you need them. You can get it right from CVS, right from Walgreens. It's literally just vitamin D. You need to get that immediately, especially if you're a person that thrives off of sunlight and being in the sun. So that's number 1. Get you some vitamin D supplements. Or if you're not a person that wants to take pills and things like that, Google foods that have vitamin D. For example, orange juice that's fortified with vitamin D. Get you some immediately, because that's going to help boost that natural vitamin D level, which is going to boost that serotonin and dopamine. And I'm going to say serotonin and dopamine a lot because those are the feel-good receptors in your brain, and we need those to thrive. And lack of vitamin D is going to kind of lower that dopamine and that serotonin. Next thing, you already know I'm on this exercise journey, but for real, you need to exercise. Whether it's walking 30 minutes a day, running, weighted hula hooping, I don't care. Move your body. You can twerk out, work out, do something. 30 minutes at least. If you can get to an hour, that's even better. But exercise naturally boosts your dopamine. So that's why everybody pushes dopamine. That's why you feel better when you exercise. So if you haven't been exercising, you need to, because that's going to naturally increase your dopamine, increase your feel good vibes. There's so many exercises you can do at home. I post them a lot. If you don't want to go to the gym, it's too cold, because baby, I understand, because my friends know they're not about to see me till April. But for real, if you don't want to go out, work out at home. There's stuff that you can do on YouTube. I post things all the time. If you have an Oculus, you know, I'm an Oculus girl. I'm here for the VR workouts. Do that. If you have a walking pad, walk on that. Just move your body for at least 30 minutes. Do something for 30 minutes, because that's going to naturally boost your dopamine. That's really, 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 really important. And you're going to need to figure out ways to manage your stress. Stress also lowers your dopamine, lowers your serotonin. So whatever you do to reduce your stress, baby, you're going to have to do it even much more. Me, I meditate. I'm a big meditator. I meditate every morning, even if it's just 5 minutes. I use my VR to meditate, and I also use an app. There are free meditation apps. You can even meditate using Pandora, but there are free meditation apps out there. You just got to find one that works for you. And even if you just do 5 minutes, you have 5 minutes in your day. There is somewhere 5 minutes you can take the time, slow down, meditate, get your mind right, because you need to lower your stress levels, especially if you're already a person that suffers with depression. So lowering your stress through meditation, exercise, that's going to help also boost that dopamine, that serotonin, which is going to help you feel good. Another thing, and I know most people can agree to this, you need to get you a playlist, that feel good playlist, something that makes you it boosts your mood immediately. I love neo soul music right after trap music, but I do love neo soul. I start my day with neo soul. It gets you in the mind. It gets you real poetic and things like that. Get you some music that really, like, that's the way you want to start your day, and listen to it. Every time you start to feel down, you better put your song on, put your playlist on. Music really does heal. Like that quote, one thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain. For real. That's very true. Find you a good playlist. You know, I can recommend you some songs if you don't know. I got you. But get you some music. Get you a good playlist to get your mind right, help you ease. And you can even meditate to certain songs. I wouldn't really do too many songs with words, because then you're going to be trying to sing the song and it's going to focus you off your meditation. But if you can do that, do that. Whatever you do to de-stress, do that. I can't really give you de-stress tips because I'm a meditation girly. I'm an exercise girly. So that's what I got for you. But however you de-stress the healthy way, do that. Last thing, as far as it relates to vitamin D levels and your serotonin and your dopamine, and I know y'all gonna say, oh, she don't drink no more, so she anti-alcohol, but don't use alcohol as a way to cope. And I say this because alcohol literally messes up the chemical imbalances in your brain. And that's actually what happens with alcohol, is it releases some temporary dopamine, which is great. You feel good, you feel wavy, baby, you on your level. But whenever you come back down and back to reality, you're going to feel even worse, because the alcohol dopamine, your body stops making dopamine, because it's like, okay, she's good, she's level. But whenever the alcohol is out of your system, your body hasn't released any dopamine. So now you're feeling worse because your body didn't produce any natural dopamine. So don't turn to alcohol to help with the sadness, because you're going to feel great in that moment. You gonna feel wavy, baby, like you out here, you thugging, like you gonna feel good, but the crash afterwards is not worth it, and you're really gonna feel worse. Not saying don't drink ever, because y'all know I don't drink anymore, but I'm just saying don't use alcohol as a way to combat your depression. Next up is missing your family members, whether that family member has passed away or that family member is just too far away. And there's two completely different things, but you can kind of handle them the same way. First things first, I want to talk about grief and losing a family member. Not having your family member around at the time of the holidays is probably the worst thing ever. I get it. I totally understand, especially people that recently lost their family members. I get it. I see you. I feel you. And that's most important. Allow yourself to grieve. Don't try to be the strong person. Don't try to be strong. Don't try to be strong for somebody else. allow yourself to grieve. It's normal. It's going to happen. And grief doesn't, they say it comes in phases, but it comes in waves. Like, you'll be feeling great, then all of a sudden something happens and you're just crying because you're upset, or something triggered it, or something reminds you of this person. So first and foremost, allow yourself to grieve. Don't feel like you're dumb, or because it's been so long, you should be over it. All these things that you may hear. Allow yourself to grieve, especially at the holiday time. So that's first and foremost. It's okay. The next thing with grief is to mentally prepare yourself for the grief. If there's certain things, like let's say you always go to your mom's house and things like that, figure out with your siblings or your loved ones how you're going to handle that. Because it's something, if you talk about it now, you have a plan, it'll be a lot easier because you know it's coming. There's no reason to kind of dread it. Go ahead and acknowledge it and figure out how you're going to handle it ahead of time. It's November. You got a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, a couple more weeks before Christmas. Go ahead, get with your people, figure out how y'all going to get through this together, and make a plan. Do not isolate yourself. I do tend to isolate myself mainly whenever I try to get my mind right or my energy is off, because I don't want my energy bouncing off to somebody else. Like, I just need to get myself together. But during this time, this is the worst time to isolate yourself. This is a time you need to be surrounded by people who love you, who want to see you win. You do not want to pull back, not at this time. Other times, yes, but during the holidays, because that's really honestly going to make it worse, and you're going to feel even more alone than you were before. And don't feel as though coming around people, you're going to bring them down. At this time, people want you to band together. They don't want you to be alone. Nobody wants anybody to be alone for the holidays. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. People don't want you to be alone on the holidays. So you need to get with people that you know that are going to listen, be there during your grief, and not make you feel weird about your grief. There is somebody out there that is not going to want you to be alone. Heck, I don't want you to be alone. So if you need to come be with me, come be with me. I don't care. Just don't be alone. Okay? For real. Do not be alone at this time. It is very easy to isolate yourself, but not on the holidays, not during this time, not when you're already battling a very serious issue. So if you do feel like you don't have anybody at all, there are support groups. There are Facebook support groups. There's community support groups. There's a support group. People struggle with a lot of things. There are support groups for everything. Everything. You can find you a support group. I'm going to post some support groups in the description because, baby, if you need support, there's a group for you. Trust and believe. Okay. And if you can afford it, get a therapist. Especially even if it's only a temporary thing. If you need a therapist to get through the holidays, get through this season, do that. Like, if you find any other time, but the holidays do it for you, get you a therapist. There is no shame in your mental health because, baby, you need that. Because what's going to happen is you check up out of here because you've been dealing with stuff alone, and all these people are going to come out the woodworks like, I wish you would have said something. There is no shame in getting therapy, especially during this time. Like, do it. I know plenty of therapists. If you need somebody, I got you. So don't be ashamed to go see a therapist, get some help. There's nothing wrong with you. People need help, and it's completely normal. Next, you can turn to religion. You can pray about it. Religion is tricky, so I don't want to say the wrong thing. Whoever you pray to, whatever you do for your religion, do that. For me and my family, we pray. I meditate. I sage. I Palo Santo. Whatever you do religiously and spiritually that you need to do that. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to go too much in depth, but whatever you do religiously and spiritually, do that. Next up is journaling. Journaling is really, really important because a lot of times it's hard to speak. Like, if there's something that's really upsetting to me, I can't even talk about it because I get to crying, and then I just be like, you know what, just forget it. If you're a person like that can't actually speak and get the words out without choking up, completely normal. Journaling is really good. You can literally write a letter to your loved one that's not here, write it down, write everything that you wanted to say, and just set it to the side. You can revisit it. You can write as many letters as you want, and that helps you get the emotions out without having to talk about it and having to worry about crying about it in front of somebody. You can cry and write your letter, and you will feel a lot better. I am a big journaler. I'm big on journaling. Seriously, write a love letter. And it may sound crazy to some people, but somebody is going to help. You got to do what helps you. I don't care how crazy it sounds to the next person. If that's what helps you, baby, do that. After you write that letter, I'm telling you, it's going to feel so much better. If you think it's crazy, I say give it a try and just see how you feel. And then come back and tell me how great that was, because I already know. So definitely, don't be afraid to journal. Don't be afraid to write it down. And it's not something you really even have to tell anybody. If that helps, that is what it is. Okay? Write your love letter to your loved one that you're Another thing, whenever we are grieving a family member, we tend to stop doing those things that we used to do with them because it reminds you too much of them. Don't stop those things, because it honestly may help you. And take somebody with you. Like, if you always went and fed the homeless after Thanksgiving, still go do that, because it's still a way to honor them and honor what you used to do, while also it'll help you to cope. Don't stop doing what you've always done, because that makes it even harder. So at first it may be hard to do, but try to continue those traditions. Try to continue to make that food that they used to make. And it may not be the same, but at least you tried. And you can even, again, this goes to spirituality, you can even talk to them while you're doing it, or journal into them while you're doing it. And that really may be a good coping mechanism. And lastly, yet again, alcohol as a coping mechanism. You'll feel good in that moment because you're drunk and you're not thinking about it, but try to avoid that as your coping mechanism, especially when it comes to grief, because you're going to be crying and then you're going to wake up and you're still going to be crying, but now you're just not drunk anymore. The exception, if y'all had a favorite drink that y'all used to make, if y'all like Jello shots, something like that, y'all had a drink, or you want to pour one out for your homie, like, still do that. That's a tradition. That's a traditional thing. So, but don't make that your sole thing. Don't just turn to that. But if y'all make Incredible Hulks and y'all took 3 shots of Henny every Thanksgiving, like, still do that. Don't take 6 for them. Don't take 3 and 3, but still do your 3 shots. Do it with somebody else. Just make a new memory, but make it about them. Make it a way to still honor them where it won't be a hindrance to you. The second half of missing your family member during the holidays is actually just being too far away. Let's say you're out on a deployment, you're off to college, anything. Basically, you just can't get to their family member. You can't fly, you can't afford to fly. That's also a way of missing your family member that's still here, but you just still can't be around them for the holiday. First and foremost, you need to stay busy. You need to keep yourself busy. You need to create a bucket list of things that you've been wanting to do, but you've been too busy with work and school, but now you got all this extra holiday time. Start to do those things. You want to keep yourself very busy, because if you're sitting at home, everybody's home for the holidays, you need to find new things to do. Just putting that out there. Find, if you wanted to do a project in your house or your apartment, start on that project. Figure out what you need to do. Watch videos on what you need to do. But you definitely need to keep yourself busy. Start a new routine. Find a new book to read. Try a new skill. Try yoga. Try anything. Just keep yourself busy with different things. Try to switch up your routine a bit. Don't get stuck in the same pattern that you always do, because it's really just going to be a reminder, like, dang, I'm really out here by myself, no family. So try something new, keep yourself busy. Another part of missing and being homesick, share your family traditions with other people. Let's say there's a group of y'all at college or something like that. You can't really get home. Swap out traditions. Like, you share your traditions, they share their traditions, and then you're learning about new traditions that maybe you can incorporate the next time you're at home with your family. And everybody gets to feel like they're back at home with their family. And even that will start to create a new memory for you. And so you'll still make memories at Christmas, just with different people. Of course, you can send gifts back home. They can send you gifts home. And it's very important to open them with each other on FaceTime, video chat, Zoom, however you video chat people, because there's so many avenues. But literally, so that'll give you that feeling of being there without actually being there. Don't have them open your stuff without you being able to see it, because then you're like, dang, I didn't get to experience that. Open y'all gifts together, and that'll give you the feeling of being there. You can still see their same reaction, see how happy they are. That's a great way. Send gifts, video chat. But that leads me to my next point. Don't do too much video chatting unless you can handle it. Because the problem with that is it's going to be really, really hard. Every time you get off the phone, it's going to be like, dang, like, I'm not there. Unless you can handle it. If that's a way that helps you cope by doing a lot of video chatting, then yeah. But if you can't, it's okay to take a step back. It's perfectly fine. Again, take care of your mental health. If you can't handle it, don't keep calling. And the last thing on this note, stay off social media. I know it's hard because you want to see everybody else's pictures and things like that. But staying on social media, you're going to see all the family pictures and everybody together. And it's really just going to hurt more that you're not there. So if you can do it, try and stay off of social media, especially if you're in that sad moment, because you may feel like it's going to make you feel better, but it's really not. It's just going to make you feel worse. So just, deactivate for a little bit, a couple hours, because you don't want that reminder that you're the only person not there. You're going to be like, dang, so-and-so showed up, and I'm not there. The one time I don't show up, they show up. Like, you don't want to do that to yourself. So if you can help it, just take a little break. It's okay. Them pictures still going to be there when you're okay and you can look, okay? You're not going to miss out on the pictures. They gonna be there forever. I got pictures from high school still on there, so don't worry about missing the pictures. You gonna see them. Getting on social media is literally, you're like willingly torturing yourself. If you can't handle it, that is fine. Like, you're a human, you're normal. Don't willingly be like, I just gotta look, I gotta see. Don't do that to yourself. You're just gonna make yourself worse. Last thing, it's so cliche, I know, and I already know when I say it, y'all gonna be like, but for real, home is where the heart is. It just is what it is. If that's, you got your family with you, your immediate family, like your kids, you got your dog, you got your happiness, it's your happy place. Hey, home is where the heart is, baby. I know, it's so cliche. Next topic. Thing about holiday time and dealing with sad during the holiday is sad childhood memories. And that one's kind of tricky. If Christmas sucked for you growing up, then you're not gonna care. When every time Christmas comes around, you're gonna be like Scrooge, because you're gonna be like, I don't care about Christmas. My Christmas sucked as a kid. But I get it. I see you. I hear you. But most of us, we're not kids anymore. We are grown, thriving adults. Hopefully you thriving. Sometimes we ain't not thriving, but most of us are thriving adults. We can make our own new memories. Because Christmas sucked all 18 years of you growing up, it does not have to continue to suck for you. Make your own memories with your own kids, your dogs, your cats, your deer, whatever animals and whatever is your family. Make new memories. Don't keep thinking about the past as going back to the past and living in the past, because this is your future. You can change your future. You can't change your past. Change your future. Seriously. Don't keep talking about the past. Like, you gotta let it go. And I know it's easier said than done. Trust and believe, it is a whole lot easier said than done. But you can do it. I promise. Make new memories. Let it go. Go get therapy. I'm serious. I joke a lot, but seriously, go talk to somebody. Other thing, if there was something that you wanted to do as a kid at Christmas time that you never got to do it. Everybody, we are still kids at heart, especially our generation. We childish. So if you always wanted to go ice skating and you never wanted to go ice skating. Get you some ice packs and some heat packs, but go and do it. Get some Bengay, but go. Seriously. If that's something you always wanted to do and you never do, like, go do it. Even at your big age, whatever it was that you wanted to do as a kid, go. If you wanted to go see Disney on Ice, go. Whatever it was that you weren't able to do, heal your inner child. Heal your inner child. Go do that thing. You're never too old. Like, there's grown people that still love going to Disney World. Like, you're not too old. Do it. And if somebody out here judging you, baby, they was going to do that anyway. So please go fulfill your childhood dream. Whatever it was that you wanted to do, go do that. Next up, avoid places and people and things that trigger you. Seriously. If there is a person, like, let's say you hate Christmas because your dad was in and out your life, and you got an auntie that every time Christmas come around, she like, why don't you go see your dad? Like, stay away from that auntie. Family is family, but you don't have to deal with them, especially at your big age. Like, you don't. If they're mad that you don't want to go talk to your dad because he ruined Christmas for you 5 years ago, like, no, I'm not dealing with you. Like, now you cut off too. Like, you do not have to go and deal with people, places, and things that trigger you. Avoid those places because it's your mental health. You got to take care of you first. So people gonna get mad. Hey, baby, I told you to stop bringing up my daddy and you ain't do it. Now you cut off. So it is what it is. For real, if that is something that triggers you or there's people that trigger you, don't go. Like, don't go. Or if you know that person's gonna be there, be like, I'm gonna wait till they leave. Like, you don't have to be at any place at any time that triggers you. Like, nope. Another thing, confide with people that have the same memories as you, that also struggle with Christmas, because then y'all can make memories together. It's good to have somebody on your side during this time. Find somebody that's went through similar thing. And again, there's Facebook groups, community groups, all the things. Don't shy away from it because you're not the only person that's went through what you went through. And most people that have went through that, they are wishing and hoping for somebody that understands where they're coming from. So find somebody in your same predicament and y'all be here. Don't try to suppress it. Don't try to suppress your anger, your frustration. Like, acknowledge it. It's very important to acknowledge it because a lot of times, especially with our community, we just try to suppress things and not really deal with it. Like, acknowledge it. Figure out what's triggering you. Acknowledge it. Figure out how you can fix it and move on. But don't try and suppress it. If you're upset and nobody understands why you're upset, like, hey, it's not for them to understand. You write it down. You work through it. Just it. Nobody has to understand your emotions. You're the person that experiences them. So with acknowledging it, also figure out what you learned from it, because there's always a learning lesson. Reflect on what you learned from it and how you're going to move forward in the future. Last thing with seasonal depression and coping with seasonal depression. This hits a lot of parents at Christmas time. Listen, not being able to provide everything your kids want at Christmas, I get it. It's very hard, and that could be really, really, really depressing. You have got to understand. Kids are super resilient. Kids are super understanding. Kids are very understanding. And it's how you set the tone. Like, making these promises to kids that they're going to get this, this, and this. Like, go ahead and set the tone soon. If they believe in Santa Claus, like my daughter believes in Santa Claus, so I tell her, like, Santa Claus may not be able to get all of these things because Santa Claus got to get stuff for a lot of people and he may not have enough time to make all these toys. Or if your kid doesn't believe in Santa Claus, just be real. Like, I may not be able to get everything. Like, kids are understanding. You really just have to talk to them. I talk to my daughter. She's 5, and I talk to her very in an adult tone where she knows and she understands. Kids are way more understanding than you think. Us as parents put way more pressure on ourselves to make our kids happy than the kids actually do. Most kids. Now, if you raise them up spoiled all their life, I don't know how to help you because I'm not raising my kid like that, but hopefully this can still help you somehow. But most kids, if you raise them right, they're understanding. They'll understand that they can't get everything. But for the ones that you gotta get at least the one big thing they want, like they wanted the PS5 or whatever. Baby, there is Klarna, there is Afterpay. There should still be layaway, I'm sure. Walmart gotta still have layaway. There are options. Go ahead and get it now so you can just be paying on it. And by the end of December, even if it's December 23rd, you good. They got it. But start now. Like, figure out what they want now. Go ahead and get the juices flowing for Christmas so you can see what's the big ticket items they're going to want. So you can go ahead and put them on layaway. And there is no shame in layaway. Because people use credit cards. It's the same idea. Just layaway has a negative connotation. It's the same thing as using your credit card, paying it off, Klarna, Afterpay, all of that. People out here afterpaying clothes and BBLs and all of that. You can afterpay your kids' toys or whatever your kids want. Okay? Period. Don't be ashamed because everybody been through it. And if somebody got something to say, some of their stuff was probably put on layaway back in the day. So don't be ashamed. Everybody's struggling right now. It is okay. If you got to put that stuff on layaway, baby, do it. If you need me to, I'll go do it. Because who got something to say about layaway? Not me. Okay? So if you need a layaway, Afterpay, credit card, whatever you got to do, get it popping and start now so you can be making those payments. When you get a little extra change, make those payments, and yeah, don't sleep on layaway. There's also Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups that literally people be giving away stuff. My friend got a Barbie dream house, basically brand new, on Facebook Marketplace. And all you gotta do is clean it up, and they would never know. Like, get it for the low, clean it up, dust it off, and it'll look brand new. Plus, the kid is probably gonna play with it a good month anyway. So some of that stuff, it's okay to get it off a marketplace. Just make sure it works. Make sure, before you leave, make sure it works and all of that stuff. Don't sleep on Facebook Marketplace either. There are options there. Also, can we talk about Ollie's, TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls? You know the vibes. Like, yeah, don't sleep on those either, because baby, they be having the same stuff for the low. Don't sleep on them stores, especially Ollie's. Because Ollie's be having that stuff for the low. I love Ollie's. For all those stores. Now, you're going to have to be prepared to wait in line unless you go today. But those stores, baby, that's where the deals be at, for real. Try those. Try the discount stores. Everybody goes there. There is no shame. You could literally get so much stuff out of those stores. Like I said, Ollie's, Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington. I almost forgot about Burlington. Just be prepared to wait a little bit, because everybody in there trying to get the deal, but it'll be worth the wait. So don't sleep on the discount stores either. You ain't got to go to Walmart and Target for everything. Like, get it popping. And if you in Charlotte, Gabe's, okay? Baby, don't sleep on discount stores. That's that on that. Lastly, if you just don't have nothing to give, it's just been really rough on you, there are so many like toy drop-offs and toy donations that you can go. I'm going to list these out. I'm also going to try and find the links for all of them and just put them in the comments below. But you got Toys for Tots, Operation Christmas Child, Make-A-Wish Foundation, My Two Front Teeth, Family Giving Tree, Angel Tree, Salvation Army. If I missed any of them, please comment below. Help a mother, a father out, an auntie, an uncle, granddaddy, all the family members. Comment them below if I missed one. Like I said, I'm going to try and put all the links in there for them. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't ask me, because I ain't got it. But don't be afraid to ask for help. Seriously. Everybody's in this together. Everybody's struggling. If you need it, don't be afraid to ask for it. May be hard, but seriously, it just is what it is. It's a part of life. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to get help. Those resources are really, really good. All of that is to say, seasonal depression is real. There are many things that can be triggering to you. Don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to make new memories. You need to be eating right. You need to meditate if that's something that helps you. Whatever it does, you need to be journaling. Find stuff that helps you cope. Try a mixture of things and see how you feel the best. Surround yourself with positive people, people that want to see you win, people that care and want you to be around. They value you. Don't use alcohol as a coping mechanism, please. Of course, it's the holiday time. We're going to have a drink. Y'all going to have a drink. It's the holiday time. But don't use it as a coping mechanism when you're already feeling down. Alcohol will give you temporary happiness, but you're going to feel even worse when you come back down off of that alcohol high. Seriously, anything that you do in these next couple months, take care of you first. Eliminate your triggers. Do what you have to do to make sure that you're good. And that's all I have. I'm going to see y'all in the next video.